doing. So you want to make sure that you're really reiterating that. So you want to try again? Is there something you would like to do? That you
I would
go,
also pull in some of the gestures a little bit.
the pontification?
Yes, the pontification.
That's the word for the day! Yay!
This is much heavier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty heavy.
I could be in someone else's story, in someone else's life, and he could be in mine. I don't see a reason to be lonely. I should take my chances further down the line. And if that girl I knew should ask my advice, oh, I wouldn't hesitate. She needn't ask me twice. No, now I tell her that for free. The trouble is the girl is me. The story is the girl is me.
Very good. Yay. Okay, who's raring to go next? We only have a few people.
Lindsay's pointing at me.
She's volunteering. I can see her right now doing that.
Yeah, I know. She's so
Voluntold.
enthusiastic.
She was voluntold. Oh, yes.
You are my dad.
Sorry if I'm good.
Oh yeah, I could read
Shoes.
Oh, my God.
This just got really, really deep.
I know, way too deep.
Lifetime movie moment.
Right.
Okay.
Good riddance, goodbye. Shrink of his, you're too. The fools will be fools, and where's he gone to? The road gets rougher, it's lonelier and tougher. Hope you burn up tomorrow, and he will turn up. There's just no left to live long night and day. Ever since this world began, there is nothing so than a one-man woman looking for the man that got away. The man that got
I think this almost calls for a little hip hugging thing too, periodically, just saying, because it's really that
A little
type of-
attitude.
Yeah. Because it's really that type of song. And you're pulling it off a little bit. I'm seeing you starting to move in that direction. So that's why I was thinking that at some point in time, you really do have this kind of opportunity to put your hand on your hip and, it's the man that got away. How could he leave this? Hmm?
I know.
Come on.
Goodness.
So, you have any thoughts? I wrote-
No, it's too fast.
What?
It's too fast.
Oh, you mean the tempo?
Da-da-da. It needs to be sultrier.
Oh.
She was doing it a couple times in the beginning,
Yeah.
and it picked up speed, I think.
Okay.
Careful not to speed up.
Okay.
Good riddance, goodbye. Shrink of his, you're on to. But fools will be fools, and where's he gone to? The road gets rougher, it's lonelier and tougher. With hope you burn up tomorrow, and you'll turn up.
rest. Oh,
yeah.
it was so nice.
Very good job. I really like that song.
Oh, yeah.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, and you're working it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it? Last one?
No,
There's more?
last but not least,
This has been fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a good time.
I'm having a good time too.
I'm just going to do the first 2 pages. Is that okay? Kind of low. And then, do you mind just making a note about this other stuff? Just when it changes, it's a little faster.
Okay. Simple.
So this probably one still and then we'll try. Yeah, that's okay. It is heavy.
My story is much too sad to be told, but practically everything leaves me totally cold. The only exception I know is the case when I'm out on a client's spree, fighting vainly all away, and I suddenly turn and see your fabulous face. I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of you?
Okay. Can I interfere? Can I interfere? Okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh.
Your voice is too good to be singing that at that tempo. So here's what
My
we're
heart
gonna
is
do.
pounding.
Scared her.
So, can you just give me the little bit of the dance intro so I can get a tempo?
My story is much too sad to be told, but practically everything leaves me
Just a little bit slower.
totally cold.
Easier.
The only exception I know is the case when I'm out on a quiet spree, fighting vainly all away, and I suddenly turn and see your fabulous
Yeah.
I get no kick from champagne. Mere alcohol doesn't thrill me at all. So tell me, why should it be true that I get a kick out of Get a kick out of you.
I have one comment also. Eye contact. This is a perfect song to be singing to the men in the audience.
Okay.
Because I thought you were looking somewhere over there. That's fine. Certain times that's appropriate, but I think especially in a small setting, that's what I would try to do, is find some people to make at least a brief eye contact with, because
Okay.
that pulls them into your story.
Okay. Thank you.
So do you
Great
see what I
job.
was trying to get at on
That's
that?
perfect.
That
That's a
I
perfect.
get no kick
Yeah.
from champagne. If your voice wasn't good, you'd want to rush through it.
Right.
Your voice is too good to not let us hear every single sound and vowel and nuance and everything that's in it. So it's just something to think, reflect on a little bit, you know, and see how that feels. Just practice that, pulling that back and getting that to be just a little bit sultrier and, you know, that kind of thing. Kind of like what I was trying to do with The Man That Got Away. To kind of just like pull that tempo back and just kind of like really let it just kind of sit there and use that voice that you have. So, yeah. Okay, anybody else? Kira, you sure you don't want to sing just a phrase or two? You're positive? Okay, but you got to sing on this concert coming up.
Does anybody
October 25th.
Does anybody sitting in the audience right now feel like that they may do something a little bit different? I mean, we don't have to rush through this if you...
No, the pizza's not going to be here for a little bit,
So
if you want to
have
do something else.
you want to do. I really appreciate that you've been willing to open up and do this kind of impromptu thing, because I know it's not easy, but I also believe that it helps you to stretch out of what you traditionally do and find some other edges. I think we all should be always seeking the edges, myself included, the edges of what I can sing, how I sing with others. I'm used to doing solo work. Now I'm in a situation where I have to sing with an ensemble, and it's really, really stretching me, which is a good thing.
Stretching is always good.
But I think that until you get there, you need some support while you're doing it.
Yeah.
So if anybody had any other ideas that they wanted to try out, because I felt like this is your opportunity to kind of really play with it.
You can see them all jumping for joy to get up there and do
I
it,
just thought
right?
I just thought I would offer it because sometimes when I'm sitting in a class, I'll have ideas after I watch somebody else sing or do something. So anything that anybody had an aha about in the class today? I know we had a short period of time to work together, but something that you saw in somebody else? Yes.
Well, I was gonna ask, because when I did jazz, you would hold like the mic with just like 2 fingers and lightly around the rest. But certain styles that looks very odd. So are there different ways to hold a microphone aside from just boom, here it is?
I'm going to go back to the place where make it work for you. It's like everything else. You have to give it a sense of what's the song you're singing. If it's a light song, I might have a lighter hold on it. If it's a heavy song, I might put 2 hands on the microphone. I think it's really all about saying and singing the same thing. So to me, to just have a light hold on jazz, I would probably be holding it a little bit tighter, but that's my style. So I think this is the place where creating the character that's singing the song, how you hold the microphone, how you present yourself as you walk up, all of those things you have control over. And I don't think that too often those types of things really get pushed in the forefront, because you're thinking about honing your voice and doing the best job here. But there's so many elements to it. And I'm sure as long as I sing, I'll find something else that will make me question what I've done so far and really try a new style with some things. So.
Any other questions,
Yeah,
comments?
any thoughts, questions? I really appreciate the work that you did here today. Because if you can watch that, I would watch it, because I saw a great difference in the beginning. And of course, some of it could just be getting comfortable with standing up here and what have you, but I saw some major changes. And you will be able to see those things too. And I will tell you, in speeches, I've asked my students, do you want me to record it? No. So I think that it's going to be a little bit different, but I think you can get something out of it. How do you think you look when you're singing? And practice in front of the mirror.
Well, that's one of the things we talk about, is get in front of a mirror. I've also said to them at times, you really should video cam yourself performing.
Yep.
You know, put your camera on, because you all pretty much have them on your phones now. Put your video on, set it out, and watch yourself sing. And believe me, if you don't like what you see, guess what? Who else doesn't? Us! The audience. So, you know, you have to take that time to really make your performance and your presentation visual as well as vocal. Now, finding that balance, as we talked today about how far do I go with the voice as far as the acting is concerned, that's always a question that all singers have. Opera singers have to be so very, very careful about what they do, because if they go too far in the emotional realm, it will definitely affect the throat. So you have to be so careful about where can I emote where it's safe, and where do I have to be careful because I have to really pay attention to the vocal part of it. And finding that balance means that your piece, your selection, whatever it is that you're working on, has to be so well ingrained into your body and throat that you then can present it almost autopilot. So any kind of things that you're doing at the last minute, or if you're still using music to perform, that kind of stuff, it's not going to be there. It has to become organic to you as a performer. And that's just so crucial. Any other comments or questions or anything like that?
I was just thinking while I was sitting here, is there a prompt that you would fill out? Do you know of anything like this that's a prompt? Like, I'm going to take a song and I'm going to make this song mine. So I've got a page that's a prompt of, here are the levels and things that I would do to make
Well, we've been talking about that a little bit too, and some of my students have been just thrilled with me this past week or two, with me telling them that they need to first monologue their songs before they even learn the notes and the rhythms. That you need to write the text out, and you need to act the text first. And then you can actually, then you learn your notes and rhythms, so that you come from a point of what is your point of view of your song before you even go into it. Because songs are poetry. And since there's so much wonderful training in the United States of America on poetry interpretation, that was sarcastic, you know, this is why you're always at a loss as to what to do with them. To take that poetry and make it yours. Because your performance should be so different from someone else's based on your point of view, your interpretation, et cetera, et cetera. So yes, does that answer your question? One of the things you can do is you can take, and I've talked about this, is take the little tiny Post-its like this, those little tiny ones like this, and every phrase of your song, write down an emotion and paste it onto that phrase. When you paste it onto that, this is answering your question, I think, is that then you follow that like you would follow a roadmap. Now, if you just simply write down sad, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy for every one of those, then you're still boring. Trust me, you're still very boring. But you have to find other words for sad and happy, which means you have to maybe increase your vocabulary a little bit, and understanding that, you know, melancholy is different than sad. You know, contemplative is different than sad. You know what I'm saying? So you need to figure out what the emotion is that's in the text and what you think that is in the text for you personally. And then you go from there. Then if you follow that song through, follow those emotions that you've pasted down on each one, then all of a sudden you have a piece that comes to life. And it's totally different than anybody else's interpretation. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. And maybe I'll create something even for myself. Because sometimes to get my head wrapped around what I'm going to do, I'll get excited about the music or the words, but sometimes I don't feel like they come together. And so for my own personal use, I might actually create my own prompt sheet and go, if you get a new song, here's how you're going to work into it, because I don't always feel like I give each song the best.
And I'll be honest with you, sometimes you can be putting those two things together and it simply is not working because, you know what, you're just not clicking into the song and it may not be the right song for you. And then you just have to let it go. I mean, I can do tons of things, tons of songs in my own, you know, for my own self in my whole singing career that I was just like, I just can't click into this. It just doesn't work for me. You know, a perfect example would be, I played the role of Robert in Stephen Sondheim's Company. It was the wrong casting, the worst thing I ever did in my life, and I